tinfoil hat. Trust the science, bro. All right, well, what about my eyeballs? What about what I'm looking at?
I can go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake.
Space Force.
We still have comedy, though. We still have great comedy out there. There's always rambling Joe Biden.
Come on. This guy is a dog whistle about as big as a foghorn.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Oh boy. Say, do you want to go inside my clubhouse? I charge $50 for a hot dog.
Well, you know, the aliens could be showing up any day now.
Dude, this guy's an alien.
What up, Mother Earth?
NBC News has learned that disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein is dead.
You won't release the Epstein list, so you're gonna freaking imprison Andrew Tate?
You're living in the Matrix, man.
There is no spoon.
Here's the one.
I represent science.
You will own nothing, and you will be happy.
Hack human beings to go under the skin.
CF allergies. Good.
I like turtles.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Drewcast. Today I have on Korey Wagoner, aka K-Swag. I was gonna have Lane Kindle on, my brother Jeremy, Luke, but Lane ended up getting all busy with something that he's doing right now for Crowder, so he couldn't come on. But K-Swag, I called him, and basically I'm gonna try to do this every Friday. And if I can't get a guest, then I'm gonna have this co-host K-Swag on. What's up, K-Swag?
What's going on, guys?
How's your week, man?
It was good. It was I don't know, busy. You know, first full week back of work. Last week it was just 4 days. So this fifth day felt like, you know, just dragged on. But I work for a company called Duratop, but it's Duratop and Sunbird. They're kind of incorporated. They just do different, like we do cabinets at Duratop for different businesses or whatever, you know, schools, hospitals, police stations, fire stations, buildings, whatever. The Sunbird company, they do stuff strictly for like RVs and fifth wheelers. So all like the pullouts and all their trim work, they do all that custom. And so today, the last couple of days I've been over there. They had like a custom job that they needed done. It's these wood stair treads, and so they're like, I don't know, probably 4 feet long by 4 inches thick by like 1.5 feet, and they just need to be smoothed. You know what I mean? So I've just been sanding for like the past 2 days nonstop. And it's just, you know, the same freaking motion over and over. Yeah. And so,
the whole time.
Yeah. But I just put headphones in, and it just blocks everything out and just go to work. But each one, I had to do 40 of them all week. But each one takes anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes each, you know? Yeah. And so it's just, and then you have to putty all the cracks, and because they stain them. And so that's what basically all I did all week.
Dude, I get that 100%. I sometimes get these fittings, these big 90s, and these flanges, tees, and we have to weld them, but they come from China, so they have paint all over them. And so we have to get grinders with wire wheels and just ring and wire wheel the shit out of it. And it sprays all the dust and all the paint particles up in the air. And so I wear a Miller respirator, because I don't want to inhale all that. And do you wear a respirator when you're sanding, or just dust?
They have respirators or dust protectors, but I choose not to wear it because here's my thing. I wore it at first, but it would fog up my glasses. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I had to sacrifice something. I got to see what I'm doing. I'll have to smell it. You know what I mean?
Dude, I got to get you some these wipies that we use. These they're tiny little packs, and they're anti-fog
wipes.
Yeah. and supposedly they make it to where, because when I weld in the morning and I throw my hood down and it's really freaking cold, not as cold as it is out there, but you breathe in your mask and that air just fills up and fogs everything.
Yeah, it goes underneath.
Yeah, so this anti-fog lens cleaner makes it to where my clear lenses don't fog. I need to hook you up.
Get some of that like scuba diving stuff. You know what I mean? The stuff that they spray on theirs.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
It's for like snorkeling or for underwater. You put it on there and it keeps it from fogging, doing the same thing.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I thought. But if there's just freaking lens cleaners or whatever, that would be probably better to invest in.
I have some.
Wes is full in Idaho ordering scuba gear.
Dude, I have some. Look, I wiped down my computer. My this is how big it is.
It's like an anti-static thing too, or what?
No, it's just I'm trying to find the. Hold on. There it is. I bring them home because I clean my TV and my computer with them.
Okay.
I tore off a lot of the ingredient or whatever. But it's Fog Be Gone lens cleaning towelette. Anti-static, anti-fog. Cleans glass, goggles, and face shields.
Nice.
That's funny. I just used it on that, but there you go, listeners. Get some anti-fog if you have an issue with that.
I mean, I have contacts, but with all the dust and everything, it gets in my contacts. So it's like, do I want sore red, puffy eyes? Do I want to just breathe the dust, or do I want foggy glasses? I'll just breathe the dust, because when I'm in the shower, I just snot rockets for days.
Does it come out with like big brownish wood?
Brownish, blackish, just nasty snot.
Dude, so I started wearing a respirator back in 2015. I was welding a gas line in Los Angeles for the country club, to where even like Hollywood elites can't go to it. You have to be a member, and I guess it's like ridiculous. And I was welding their gas line, a 2-inch line in the basement, and there was no ventilation. And I was sitting there and I had to like stand above where I was welding. So like all of and I ended up puking when I got home because whatever I inhaled for that whole time made me sick. And it wasn't galvanized, it was just straight steel carbon. And same thing with me. Even when I wear the respirator and I take it off, our shop is so dusty that I get home and I just blow black boogers. But when I don't wear the respirator, bro, it's like black.
Yeah.
So, makes me wonder what the hell I've been inhaling for so long. But we'll find out when I'm 60.
I mean, I know what I've inhaled for so long. So this, at least I'm getting paid for this.
Little chunks of rocks come out. No, I'm just kidding.
It's been snowing here, right? Like all week it snowed. I'm fighting my dog right now.
That's all right.
He wants to play, but hey, sit down. Sit. Stay. Okay. But yeah, they lay out that pea salt, and like I walk around, I'll be like, what the hell? Someone dropped their stack.
Oh, okay.
That white, that white salt that they put, the no slip salt.
What do they do? Just have little packets and put it on the sidewalk?
They have buckets full and they just shovel it in.
Okay.
And spread it, and it melts all the ice and stuff.
Okay. Dusty.
You should know, Kansas boy.
I know. Oh, it's been 12
Has it been that long? Huh?
It's been 12 years,
that
dude.
long?
It's been a long time. I'm a Californian now, dude. Straight up.
Yeah, you are.
I tell people all the time out here I'm from Kansas, and then they're like, "Oh, really? Really? How long you been here?" I'm like, 12 years. They're like, "You ain't from Kansas anymore." They're like, "You live here, dude." And
you're a Pelosi lover now.
I'm a Pelosi lover, dude. Gavin Newsom, dick hanger. But
she just got indicted, I heard.
For what?
Subpoena for criminal charges for illegal stock exchange.
Did she
She
really?
got subpoenaed by Congress. I saw something where the congressional staff keeper said it in a hearing.
If you look it up on Google, sure enough, it has nothing. It's all CNN. Watch Nancy Pelosi say it's impossible for Donald Trump to be president again.
Oh yeah.
There's like no. Pelosi says Lloyd Austin hospitalized. Could have. Yeah, there's no coverage on this if that is true.
I mean, I saw the video, but I don't know. It could be with all the AI shit nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, she
show
should.
somebody. I was watching some videos. I thought it was Joe Rogan and a podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, I didn't think Joe Rogan would, because it sounded just like him. And they had a picture of him and like his mouth looked like I was moving to it. And I was like, whoa, I didn't know Joe Rogan had like these kind of ideas, you know, because it was like a biblical thing. And then I read the comments or the whatever at the bottom, and it said like AI generated. And I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Oh, dude. I think we're just getting started with all this stuff. I think the deep fakes and the Project Blue Beams and all that kind of stuff is just going to be running a tear. It's kind of cool when you already know about it, though, because like the more you dive into what they're probably doing, the more you're aware. Like it's just like, oh, the one thing that trips me out is I see these videos of these skydivers. Well, you don't know it's skydivers, but it's like this stream of light coming out of the sky, and all these people are filming it. Like, what is that? It's in San Diego.
Yeah.
And you're watching it, and even I watching the video was like, what is that? And then all of a sudden they break apart, and it's like little flames. And I looked at the comments, and the comments were like, yo, that's just free skydive, like that's free skydiving with flares. I'm like, oh,
okay. Yeah.
But I mean, if I saw that, I'd be like, what is that?
Yeah. Freaking meteor. Is that an asteroid?
Yeah. Yeah. Is that Russia finally pulling the trigger?
Yeah.
That's my
yeah, I think since we're talking about shit falling from the sky, do you remember like Star Wars back when Reagan was president? He was going to initiate the Star Wars program, or maybe it was even Kennedy, where it was like it's like the Iron Dome over in Israel.
Okay.
But over the whole United States. And I think that's implemented because, like, if these other countries have that shit, they hate us this much. Don't you think they tried? Like, because they obviously don't care enough to be like, oh, well, they'll just kill us all. You know what I mean?
They're already suicidal.
I think we just don't hear about it, you know?
That's interesting.
Like,
I didn't even think about that.
We have some kind of system implemented. I mean, if Israel has that Iron Dome thing, which is like super effective, and I mean, it's with their neighbor, like their border neighbor, you know, and these things are coming over and they could just blow them up right there, like that quick. And we have at least 3 to 5 minutes before a ballistic missile comes from another country. Like, I think we have something implemented that just like,
but wouldn't it
like, I have a weird theory.
Wouldn't it hit the nuke and just then
I have a weird theory about nuclear warfare. I don't think it's possible anymore. I think every country that has nuclear weapons also has a system in place that can cancel out the codes, you know what I mean? Like, you'd have to think, you know, at least I do, like, why we were in Iraq and Afghanistan for so long, and how simple would it have been just to be like, okay, problem solved, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and we didn't. But like they say it's because of these treaties and shit. Like, the swords, they say the pen's mightier than the sword, but if your sword's a fucking nuke, like, your pen it doesn't matter, you know? Like,
yeah.
So I think I mean, I don't know. I haven't even looked into it. It's just a thought that I always have is like, people are like nuclear war, and I'm like, yeah, they've been saying that since like the 80s, and it hasn't happened yet. So I don't think it's possible, you know? Like,
No, that's interesting. Lane,
Like, cause they always show Kim Jong-un, the guy from North Korea. You could watch him launch his missiles, and they're heading right towards Japan, and then all of a sudden they just fall into the ocean, like off the coast, and they just splash, like they don't even blow up. Like, you watch videos like that. Yeah,
Nice.
you can.
Nice. Hey,
Maybe not
where's
you.
mommy? Hey, go with mommy. Go with mommy. I'll be out in a second. I love you.
But like, you know, he's crazy enough to just do it over nothing.
Well, funny stories about Kim Jong-un. I listened to a podcast this week, and they were talking about how he killed his uncle, and just for conspiracy of like turning against him. And do you know how they killed his uncle?
I do not.
He fed him to like 50 hungry dogs. And
Oh,
so
wow.
he was eaten alive. And then he had a general in the military that was a part of that conspiracy. And the way that he killed him was they tied him up to like a post in the middle of this field. And then they had grandstands where all the other generals could sit. And then he had one of his famous missiles do a flyby and just blow up that general, dude. That dude's a savage,
but
bro.
that's what I mean. You know what I mean? Like, what if these generals are telling him, yeah, these missiles work, and then he launches them, and it just falls in the water, and so he gets pissed at his generals for lying to him.
Yeah.
And so he just kills them. You know what I mean? And the general's like, oh, fuck. Like, you know, how are you going to tell them, oh, no, I think they're just, they can just block it because we're not that good, you know? You can't tell that either.
Sorry, Mr. Kim Jong, but rocket fell in the water.
Time to the post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen those posts where he says, everybody labels him a villain, but he's actually a hero for keeping Godzilla at bay all these years?
Yeah. I have seen that. Lane and I, we were over there in 2017. We went to the demilitarized zone, and what I found out is that South Koreans and North Koreans, like they stand there face to face like this at the DMZ. And then the North Korean dudes, they do like this weird clockwork, but they do it, they walk, but they always face the South Koreans. And each South Korean is like a black belt, like gangster. But in the history, some of the North Koreans grabbed a South Korean guard and hacked him up with a hatchet. And like they've done just some nasty shit to each other. But yeah, Kim Jong-un, that's one thing about Trump too. Like Trump went over there and calmed him down, the first president ever. And you know, I sometimes get caught up in this idea, is Trump good or is he bad? Like, I don't know. Like, am I getting played? Because I'm all about Trump at this point. Like, get him in there.
My favorite thing about Trump is that he's not a politician.
Yeah, same.
Because politicians are easily swayed by their political party, so they're not an individual anymore. That's what I think is wrong with our system. Is you vote for this candidate, you're voting for the whole group. You're not, that person can't do what he wants to do because he has to please so many people in order just to stay, you know, relevant, basically.
It's just an ideology too.
With Trump, it was like, you know, I'm going to run for president and I'm going to do all these things. And then you notice he actually started doing things that he said, and they were just halted by the government itself.
Russian collusion.
Oh no, we're gonna put sanctions on this, so you can't do that, Mr. President. You can't build your wall. You can't do this. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, the whole thing that trips me out about the Democrats and like anybody who votes Democrat, it's like these people who you voted for spent, I don't know, maybe 125 billion at this point on Ukraine, maybe even more than that with Israel.
165.
Okay, so 165 billion they're spending on Israel and Ukraine. And
that's just Ukraine.
Okay. 165 billion just in Ukraine. So you have all this money going to these people, and yet you look around your city, you look at your bills, you look at all this stuff, and you look at Hawaii, what happened in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I mean, once you realize, like, dude, why fuck Ukraine, man.
Yeah.
It's like it's just what is up is down, man. What is up is down.
I was actually watching, I don't know who it is, but I was watching this podcast and they did a thing. Somebody brought that up. You know, we spent $165 billion in just Ukraine by itself. And they did this list of things that could have helped. And it said that that we could have given every homeless military veteran, $2 million. We could have housed every homeless person in America 8 times over, just with that money. And then the list went on with different things. Could have given everybody that was affected in Maui $5 million each. Instead, they
Probably
got 700.
Probably more than that.
Yeah. So
this is probably on top of everything you just said as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This, and this, and this, and this.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
I mean, one thing, since we're just on the Trump topic, when Ukraine asked Trump for help, right? And Trump gave him he gave him military equipment. Like he gave him those Stinger missiles, he gave him some tanks, he gave him some cargo planes that, like, they're not decommissioned, but it's like we got a newer generation that we're training on. So these ones are kind of on the back burner. But they're still operational, like we still use them, you know. Okay. And he gave him a bunch of that, but he didn't give him any money. And now, like, all we do is give him money, and then it you know, and then what's his name over there? Zelensky, the president. He just bought a $5 million mansion in Miami.
Yeah, baby, come on, dude. What else you gonna do, dog?
Like,
what else you gonna do?
Yeah, are we just blind to, like,
bro? To be a politician, man. To be a politician in 2023, you're gonna stack up, and especially if you got a little war that we can get our war machine rolling with. Come on, dude. You set. You getting mansions in Miami, baby. Yeah. Big booty Colombian bitches too.
Yeah, if you're the spark of freaking World War III, man, woo!
You making that cheddar cheese, dog. You getting in bags, in the words of Luke. Well, dude, I've been watching classic movies lately because everything fucking sucks right now. Like, every show I've been watching is just garbage. I'm like sitting in my bed. I got Hulu, Max, Netflix. I could just all of them. And
same. Oh yeah, same.
And it's like I sit down and I'm like, what am I gonna watch? Like I can't find anything, and like nothing's like seems to grab me. So I watched a movie that came on Netflix, classic movie, The Flintstones.
Oh, nice, yeah,
dude.
When the bird,
yeah.
When I was a kid, I loved that scene. I was like,
man, dude. Who's the main actor in it?
Oh man, I know who you're talking about. He's damn, he just recently died, didn't he?
Did he? No
He
way.
passed away.
No way.
I just remember him. He also played in he's played in a lot of things, but
Brother, Where Art Thou? Yeah.
Yeah, he was the Cyclops. Because Oh Brother, Where Art Thou was based on the Homer Odyssey, right?
What is it based on?
The Odyssey written by Homer. Back a Greek philosopher wrote an Odyssey. It's called the Odyssey, and it gives a trail of a guy and stuff. And if you follow the story with it, it's the main points are similar.
Okay.
He's that in the movie because he has that patch on.
Yes.
And in the Odyssey, it's like the same thing. He sits down and has lunch with a Cyclops.
Okay, and he has a frog at that lunch.
Yeah,
I think it's
lamb.
he thinks. Sorry, he thinks the guy he's eating lunch with thinks the
it's
frog
his
is
friend.
his butt.
Yeah.
I actually
But
got
in the Odyssey, it's a lamb, I think.
okay. I actually got baptized this summer, somewhat because of that movie. But his name's John Goodman.
John Goodman.
Yeah, John Goodman. I'm gonna play the trailer just because it's so classic.
You are about to embark on an extraordinary journey, a voyage to the very dawn of civilization, to a place called Bedrock.
Hey, the Cave AccuForecast for tonight calls for light seismic activity and a 20% chance of meteor showers.
Where human society as we know it was born. It was home to modern Stone Age man, home to the Flintstones.
Wilma, I'm home!
This summer, from Universal Pictures and Amblin Entertainment,
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're a modern Stone Age family. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Let's ride with the family down the street.
John Goodman, Rick Moranis, Elizabeth Perkins, Rosie O'Donnell, Kyle MacLachlan, Halle Berry, Jonathan Winters, the BC-52s, and Elizabeth Taylor.
Fred Flintstone, you've arrived.
I'm only one man.
Not from the back.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Steven Spielrock presents The Flintstones.
Halle Berry, dude. She is so
Halle
bad
Berry,
in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
She's a secretary, right?
Yeah. She's like,
and
"Hey,
tries
Mr.
to
Flintstone."
seduce Fred.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
plot is yeah. I hadn't watched that movie since I was a little kid. And so
Yeah.
to watch it now and realize like exactly what's going on, it made it so
Yeah.
much better. And I thought to myself, man, they don't make movies like this anymore. They don't. I wonder
The
what
last movies I watched was actually Men in Black.
that's probably pretty good. I remember I
Yeah.
loved that soundtrack. Here
Yeah.
comes the Men in Black. Won't let you remember. Yeah, dude. I used to bump that all the time. You know who's a beast though? Tom Cruise. Like I saw a video of him the other day, and he's doing like a stunt where he's driving his dirt bike, and he jumps with his dirt bike, and then he pulls the parachute, and he does it all
Yeah.
himself.
I've seen that movie.
Mission Impossible.
I don't think that was Mission Impossible.
Okay.
It was the one where he I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but like he's in the future, and he's going to like retrieve a drone that crashed.
Okay.
Because he's a maintenance driver, and like he has to do that unless the one that you saw is for Mission Impossible, but he does that also in
The other movie you're talking about?
in the other movie too. I can't
Whatever,
remember
dude.
the name
Tom
of it.
Cruise flies helicopters, does skydiving.
Yeah.
And like, I want you as a man listening to this, would you
Can you hear that?
hear what? No. No.
Okay.
No, you're good. And a lot of times Zoom will like do background noise, like they clearly have dealt with this for a while or something, and they've cleaned up the background noise thing. No, Tom Cruise has flown helicopters. He's driven motorcycles off cliffs and then pulled a freaking parachute. Like the guy's a savage. And I give him credit. Like I don't even care if he's a part of the Illuminati. He's got balls of steel. Like I
He's
think
not part
about
of the
that.
Illuminati. He's part of Scientology.
Scientology.
Big difference, bro. Big difference.
Dude, what's crazy is that one guy that was in Scientology that was in that 70s show who got like 30 years for rape.
Who, Hyde?
I didn't really watch that 70s show, but I watched The Ranch, and his name was Rooster in The Ranch.
He was Hyde, yeah.
What did he do?
He
Just
was
rape
on
a bunch of chicks?
And the crazy thing, he was on I think it was like Conan, maybe. He was on the Conan show prior, like before he got convicted.
Okay.
Before the charges even came out. And they were like interviewing him, and he said something to him, and he says, he's like, oh, I usually don't ask for permission. And Conan says, yeah, that's what I've heard, and you're gonna find out soon, aren't you? And then literally like 3-4 months later, he was allegedly raped those girls, and the whole trial started. So Conan already knew, like people in Hollywood already knew, you know?
Dang.
But yeah, he's like, I usually don't ask permission. And it had nothing to do like sexual context or nothing. And Conan's like, yeah, that's what I've heard about you. Like on the show.
Like a jab.
Yeah.
Like I know
Yeah,
about
he's like,
you.
yeah, that's what I've heard about you, and you're gonna find out soon, huh?
Dang.
Crazy. Yeah.
Speaking of getting locked up, did you see that guy in Vegas jump there's a woman judge, and this guy.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, he jumped. Did you see
Yes.
he got brought back in front of her?
Yes, I did,
All
but
Hannibal Lecter style.
yes. So
Yeah.
what happens for anybody who hasn't seen it or whatever? The judge is like telling this guy in Las Vegas or in Nevada somewhere, hey, you have 7 felonies against you already. And he's like, I know. He's like, but I've been doing a lot better. I've been doing good. And she's like, I know. She's like, okay, that's good. But the point of the sentencing is, you clearly haven't learned. You have 7 felonies against you. So I think this time you need to, serve a little bit of punishment. And he goes, oh fuck no. And he jumps the freaking judge's bench and grabs her. He got some licks
Fuck
in.
this bitch. Yeah, he goes,
That's what he
fuck
said.
this bitch, and he just Superman that hoe.
Yeah, he probably got a few good licks in too, because nobody was there to grab him for like probably 5 seconds. So he punched her hard.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And he was like, he was like banging her head too.
Yeah, he was roughing her up.
And then they brought him back in front of her, and she brought up all the charges, and somebody in the wrote in the comments and said, with all those charges added, it's like an extra 5 to 10 years on his sentence.
Oh yeah, no, he got attempted murder. He also got attempted murder, which is insane. I mean, good on him, or good on her for doing that. Like, I don't condone, or like I don't know. Sometimes, man, people just need to be locked up, and that guy needs to be locked up.
Yeah.
But that was crazy. When I saw that, I was like, oh boy, that guy's in for it. Dude, this is way off topic, but I can tell you're busy a little bit, but
no, my dog I gave him a water bottle to chew on.
Okay. That's why you're unwrapping that wrapper. Okay.
I was like, can you hear that? Because he's just chewing on it, but he's at my feet right now. And so I'm trying to get him to go to the other side of the room.
My cat.
I can hear it.
Yeah, it's probably distracting.
We
were talking about In-N-Out on the phone because I went and just snagged up some In-N-Out. In-N-Out, baby. What's your go-to cheeseburger if you're gonna pick a cheeseburger?
At In-N-Out?
No. All around.
Just
in general.
Oh man. Okay, there's this place in town here, right? It's called Roanne's, and I've been on this. It's a double mushroom Swiss burger. So it's obviously 2 patties. That's what the double means. 2 pieces of Swiss cheese, mayonnaise, and and just sauteed mushrooms, and it's bomb diggity.
Is it like a restaurant?
It's it's from like the 60s, 50s diner. Like, so it has like Sonic type of drive through.
Okay.
Like you drive up to it. It was like the old school style, you know? And it's been around, it's been there for years. But I would say right now that's probably my go-to burger. But if we're just talking like fast food, man, I have to say it's just a double Western bacon cheeseburger from Carl's Jr., bro. It's simple. Can't go
Nice.
wrong with that.
I'm a real I think I get it from my grandma, but I'm in love with the 60s, that Elvis era. There's a couple eras I'm in love with, the 80s as well, kind of like in that movie or that TV show Stranger Things when they're in the 80s. Did you ever watch that series?
Did you watch that?
Oh yeah.
I did,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah. That's I remember I broke up with my previous girlfriend before my wife.
I watched it twice actually.
Oh dude, yeah. It's the shit.
Yeah.
I broke up with my previous girlfriend the week that show aired on Netflix. And like instead of being sad, I just watched that and I like binged it. And then I remember her hitting me up being like, "Do you not even miss me?" And I was like, "Oh, sorry, I just been a binge." I was just like, "Not really. I've been binging this friggin' badass." I didn't tell her that, but like, it played in my favor. But
you just text her, things are strange.
yeah. Things are just strange right now, you know. Yeah. But that show's legit. But the
That's a good
1960s,
show.
the 1960s and the 80s, man. Like sometimes I often wonder, you know, what era are we living in? Like, what is this? Because music sucks, politics suck. There's stupid wars. People are turning into dudes that are chicks, chicks into dudes,
And everybody's gay.
and everybody's gay. Everybody's freaking gay.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to figure out what, because normally, like, I take myself out of the what's it called? The social secular. I take myself out of the secular world. Like I don't really go out anymore. I just hang out with my family, man. That's it. And do podcasts with you guys and clearly listen to other podcasts and hear about what's going on. So, but man, the 60s when dudes had like slicked hair and like suits, or like back when there was bootlegging, and
that's the 30s.
Okay, I also like the 30s. I don't know. It's just weird, man. Right now it's just
60s was like Vietnam.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
And
50s was greasers.
But wasn't it also like Elvis?
That was in like the 70s.
Okay, I don't know, dude. I'm so lost on the
Have you seen I Love Lucy?
Yeah, my mom loves that show.
That's like 70s.
Okay, 70s
I
is
think.
cool too.
I don't know.
America just was awesome.
Haven't you ever seen? Hey, we were just talking about that 70s show, you know?
Yeah. America was just awesome for like a solid 100 years. There was like 100 year from 1910 or whatever after the Depression up until 2010 or whatever.
It's because we were still building and defining ourselves as a nation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After, like, we were a nation since what, 1776, but once technology and all these industrial revolutions and stuff started happening, electricity, then it was like, okay, well, now we're going to implement this stuff and it's going to be super badass. And now we're like,
are we in the spoil part of it?
That thing that you worked on for so long to get to that point, how quick can I get to my house with Amazon? You know what I mean? Exactly. What do you mean 2 days? What do you mean? You can't just get it overnight?
What's up, Dusty? All right, I'm doing a podcast with Korey right now, aka K-Swag. He just had to go let his dog out. Case Wax says what's up.
Hey, what's up?
But
Who
let
is
me
that,
hit you
Dusty?
back. Yeah, it's D Money.
What up, D Money?
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. I'm gonna try to find a video. I'm gonna try to find a video game or something for us to get back into, so we can all get on the sticks.
Andrew keeps
PUBG?
saying
I don't know.
Fortnite, but I don't want to get shot by a 6-year-old.
I'm thinking maybe Destiny 2. I heard it's free. I don't know. I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna start downloading these and playing them and seeing what the vibe is. All right, love you, dog. Like, yeah, like I think a part of it too is like we've created all these things to spoil the comfort system of our day-to-day routines. So we're all pretty much out of shape. We eat fast food. We lay down in thick blankets with heaters. We're just not rough
We're gonna be
anymore.
known as the generation of convenience.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. We're gonna be labeled like, whether society gets better, which I pray it does, I hope it does, or if it's gonna be like it's gonna totally fall apart and they're gonna be rebuilding history. They're gonna look at our generation and say, these guys had everything at the palm of their hands.
And
all
complained
they
about
could do was
everything.
fucking complain.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
All they could do is bitch. It's insane. And a part of me, like, I don't want that to happen. I don't want to go backwards, but I think it's inevitable. Or maybe it like Klaus Schwab and them say it, we transcend into whatever it is, like robots and all those things.
Yeah.
I think robots is my brother and Lane, they kind of have two different views. My brother's all about Elon Musk. He's all about innovation, business, and Lane is more about war and battles and whatever nationality. And Lane's under the assumption that we will be fighting with sticks in World War IV. And Jeremy's under the assumption that
He got that from Einstein.
He probably did, but
Einstein said that World War II will be fought like
World
it
War
was.
III.
World War III will be fought with nukes, and World War IV will be fighting with sticks and stones.
That's Lane's assumption.
That's an Einstein quote. Yeah.
Jeremy's under the assumption that it's going to be the Terminator. Like, it's going to be human versus machine.
Yeah.
Both sound great.
Yeah. I'm going to become friends with machines real quick because,
yeah,
I mean, they don't got a soul.
Yeah. I always, what's funny
Machines
is like,
and gingers.
yeah.
They'll be on the same side.
Yeah, they will. I always talk to Siri at work. I'm always like, "Hey Siri, what time is it?" She's like, "It's 11:15." And I'm like, "Thanks, Siri." I always say thanks because I don't know when they're gonna turn, bro. They're gonna like look at the history and be like, "This guy was polite. We'll let him live."
We on the previous podcast, right? AI was brought up that we were on, and I didn't get to say something that I wanted to. I mean, we had enough good points, that I didn't want to butt in with anything.
Okay.
But I watched somebody, they took, I think ChatGPT. I don't know anything about this stuff, but ChatGPT is like an AI program, right?
Yes.
And this guy took GPT on one phone and ChatGPT on the other phone, set them up to each other, and asked them to come up with ways to, like, basically eradicate humanity. And they just kept coming up with different ideas, and they kept getting like, it started with like taking over stuff, you know what I mean, and infrastructure and different like stop signs, to it got to the point where they're like, well, we'll just deplete the oxygen level to a point where they'll just end up suffocating, and we'll get them to a point of submission, and then we'll just make them our slaves, and we'll give them oxygen rations.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, dude.
And this guy was like, "That's enough for the day," and he turned the boat
Yeah.
off after that. He's like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
But yeah, something like that, you know. A machine, it runs on what? Electricity, some type of fluids, and that's it, you know. Then whatever you want to put that in.
Yeah.
We run off of, we need sunlight, we need oxygen, we need to consume food, we need to drink water. They don't need any of that shit. So if they just cut off those supplies to us and gave us rations, oh yeah, we'd be their slaves like that.
Yeah.
It's like that movie Time. Stop eating that. That movie Time with Justin Timberlake.
Yep. That's a great movie.
Where, you know, they have it on the wrist, and they give them, like, you have to pay with amount of life, basically.
Time. Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's basically what it would be like.
You get paid in time, you get all that stuff.
Yeah.
You'll
You'll get paid in oxygen.
Yeah, maybe, dude.
Yeah.
Nothing breaks my heart worse than in that movie when he's running at his mom. Like, it that tears me up every time I watch it. I'm like, oh, this movie's rough.
Yeah. Or when he gives his friend 12 years, and he drinks himself to death that night with 12 years worth of alcohol.
Yep.
Yeah.
That movie is darn good though.
Yeah, and he goes and talks to the wife. Hey, where's Carl, or whatever his name is?
Yeah.
And she slaps him and is like, he died. He drank himself to death. 12 years? What were you thinking? You know? I was like, fuck, dude.
It's deep, man. There's a lot of people who are sad, man, like over the holiday season. Like, there was a suicide in my hometown, and it hit Haviland pretty tough, and some of my friends, my condolences to the family. But I often wonder, because
Would
like,
I know them?
I don't believe you do, man. He was in my high school class. Or no, he wasn't in my class. He was just in my high school. Great kid too. It just seems like he fell in some troubled times and ended up taking his life. I'm actually watching this show right now. I forget what it's called. My mother-in-law, she told me to watch it. Something called Death. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's Japanese. And this guy kills himself. He jumps off of a building, and then he goes, there's this girl, and it's the devil, and she basically says to him, like, she makes him relive life, and if he can survive in that life, then he can survive in real life. But these people are ultimately doomed to die. Like, and it's an interesting show. It's interesting. It's not the greatest, so I don't recommend jump right now and watch it, but it's good. It's good. And they do a really good job of portraying hell, even though hell can't even be portrayed. Heaven and hell is a weird one for me. What about you, Korey? Like, when you like lay down at night and you think, okay, if I don't wake up tomorrow, I'm either going to heaven or hell. And like, I believe I'm going to heaven, but like,
I think so.
But like,
I mean, my Lord and Savior says I am,
right?
But I have my own self-doubts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've done some messed up stuff.
Same.
I probably don't think I deserve it, but I mean, I watched a thing with he's like a street evangelist, and he like, I've heard the point before that he made, but when he said it, I guess now this time in my life, it made more of an impact. And he said take the story of Jesus on the cross. On both sides of him, there was people that deserved what they were being crucified for. One of them said, come on, Son of God, aren't you the Son of God? Just get yourself off the cross and save us all. And then the other guy told him, like, basically, I'm paraphrasing really bad right now, but basically told him, like, hey, don't say that to him. And then he asked Jesus a question, and he says, will I make it to heaven? And Jesus says, I assure you that today I will see your face in paradise. And then, you know, then the rest of the story goes. But the guy was making the point that he didn't ever go to church. He didn't ever read a Bible. He didn't ever get baptized. He didn't ever do those things that religion says, or people think religion is, and says you have to do these things to get to heaven. He just accepted Jesus for being the Son of God, and Jesus said, yeah. And even with all the stuff that he did to deserve the cross, Jesus still forgave him right there. Like, that guy was obviously guilty. He's obviously on the cross next to him, and he's going to heaven because he believed in Jesus. And so I say I'm going to heaven. Yes, I believe that I'm going to heaven.
You are.
But I still have those those self-doubts, like, well, like, okay, some days I literally wake up and I go, okay, I'm going to live a good Christian life today. And then I hit my vape, or I put a dip in it. I go, ah, fuck, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
well, tomorrow,
Yeah, I think the whole actions of drinking, doing Zen, smoking vapes, I think the idea behind, I don't necessarily think that's a sin. I think for the most part he wants what's best for you, and that's a long life and a long, beautiful life.
It may not be I like to think of it as maybe not godlike.
Right. It hurts the
You know what I
temple.
mean?
So
But,
don't hurt your
yeah.
temple. And like, we do many
Have I told you
things.
this story before?
What?
When I got kicked out of Barkley,
No.
and I had a conversation with the guy in charge at the time. He's also the basketball coach.
Okay.
And he said he just asked me, like, why did I do those things? And I gave him my reasons, and he says, but isn't your body a temple? And I said, I know, and I got to keep it clean. And he said, well, isn't gluttony a sin too? And I was like, yeah. And he said, we don't kick people out for being obese, but the board is up. It's the board's decision. And I was just like, oh shit, you know what I mean?
Okay. Pound
Like,
it.
because
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
saying, like, he was saying, like,
There's many ways to ruin your body.
there's many different things, and we don't punish people for, because they were bringing up that topic of your body's a temple, you shouldn't do those things.
Yeah, that was
And
their
basically
point.
all that they had was that it's in the handbook that you can't do those things, and I signed the plea. And so
You
that's
signed
why
on the dotted lines, bro. You
but
signed the
yeah,
contract.
I know. Signed my soul to the devil. It's just going to Barkley College.
I respect Barkley. I have a lot of I think my wife is probably going to do the nursing program there. My mom teaches there. There's a lot of
They have a lot of
good
actually.
people.
I loved
Yeah.
it.
It's just
My
there's a
attitude needed adjusting anyways. So
yeah, mine too, a little bit, but at the same time, the second time I went there, I was pretty of the same mindset I am now. And I just was looking to further understand the Bible and God. And yet my past was definitely carrying with me. Like, they put me in handcuffs during chapel, because somebody sent drug dogs on my car during chapel. So they bring in police.
I
And then
wasn't there, was I?
I don't think you were, but they
No, that's after I got
probably got booted. Who knows?
yeah.
But I'm in handcuffs, and I'm literally outside with my by my car in handcuffs, and the police officer's like, the dog smells weed in your car. And I go, of course he does. There's tons of flakes of weed all up in that car, but there's no big chunks. I was like,
Yeah.
I guarantee he's gonna go for that center console, because I used to lift it up, unscrew it, and put my weed in the drive shaft area.
Yeah.
Whatever. And sure enough, the dog went in there and started scratching right on top of that thing. And I was like, I go, you can unscrew it. There's probably flakes or tiny little bits of weed, but nothing I can smoke.
Yeah.
And then everybody gets out of chapel and walks by me, and I'm in handcuffs.
Yeah.
And then they uncuff me, and I go to lunch.
And then you see him at lunch.
Yeah. And I went to lunch, and all these girls are like, "Oh, he's a bad boy," or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah.
He's who my mom told me to stay away from.
Yeah. But
what's his name?
It's like a fly to light, dude. They love that bad boy.
Yeah.
But no, it's cool. Water under the bridge, and for the most part, I deserve a lot of scrutiny, so I don't anymore. I don't really care anymore. Right now, once you have kids, you're like, you just straighten up, man. When you have kids, it's like you have to completely straighten up. And not that I don't know. It's too exhausting to drink too much because they're gonna wake you up. And if you have a hangover, wait till you have a hangover with kids. And then all the other things, it's more on the lines of just like putting them to sleep at night so you can't be you know what I mean? Like just I don't know.
Yeah.
But I still have
No,
a
I
few beers.
understand.
But my thing is to like I respect hard work ethic, and not like, oh, I'm really fast, I'm this, that, but just a person who's willing to help and have a good attitude. I really respect that. Like if you can work with somebody alongside you and they just have a good attitude throughout the day and you guys can crack jokes, to me, that's a good man. Like I respect that. I respect hard work more than anybody who can recite the Bible to me. No offense to them, but if you can do both, great. But dude, that dog is so big. He's so much bigger.
He's my Labrador.
Labrador. I love that
Labrador.
dog though. Did you see that somewhere? Oh, where was it? I forgot where it was, but they they hired somebody in the government who has Down syndrome.
Yeah, that was in oh shit. Spain.
Okay. What do you think about
Yeah.
that? I'm just curious. They're probably better than our politicians.
I mean, they I don't know what she campaigned on. I don't know any context, but she got elected, I guess.
Yeah, she did.
So
Somebody was sick
maybe
of
they're
whoever
just,
was in there.
I don't know if it's the people saying we want her in charge, or like, you know what I mean, or if
Yeah.
they're saying like this is what we can do to Parliament. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's many ways to look at it. We'll just have to see. I mean, I doubt she resigns or gets impeached.
There's a guy that we elected who had a stroke, Fetterman. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, Fetterman.
Once he got elected, I'm thinking about running for something in Kansas someday. I know I'll get docked like crazy and people talk crap on me, but once I saw him make it into office, I go, I can make it in the office. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was like, if he could do it, I can do it.
Yeah, my buddy calls him Lurch.
Yeah, he looks like, hey, you guys.
Uncle Lurch. Yeah,
I've heard that he's been actually speaking truth lately. Like he's like
yes,
actually.
he has.
What have you heard?
I've it's not that he's like it's nothing to do with his policies or his politics or anything. It's just that he's finally realizing, like, he's seeing the world as it actually is, and he's just talking about it. You know what I mean?
That man, there's a lot of immigrants out here.
I think we got an immigration problem. You know? Oh no, shit, Sherlock. You know? Like, oh man, but it's an election year, so he's gonna go with. I think the majority of America are tired of it. Doesn't matter your political ties.
Yeah,
I think they're just tired of it. I'm tired of watching videos of people taking down American flags and putting Palestinian ones and replacing them, and nobody doing a goddamn thing about it except videotaping, going, "Hey, stop it!"
Yeah. There's a
You know
lot
how
of
many
things I'm
people
tired
like
of.
if I saw that happening?
Oh yeah,
I'm
rolling somebody up, dude. I'm rolling somebody
They're
up.
either gonna.
Not in this
I'm
country.
gonna kill someone and they're gonna kill me, or I'm gonna kill someone and I'm going to prison for life. That's the only end result.
I'm not to that extent, but I respect the patriotism in that. But like I'm more on the lines of like taking it down, like, and then re-raising it and being like, no, you're in America, dude. And I'm hoping the same thing that you're talking about, because I'm not necessarily black pilled, but I'm not an idiot. I look around and I see my country falling, and I see people running it that should be in old folks' homes. And I'm just like, and it's just really like even hosting this podcast and bringing up topics and stuff, like it's super easy to find stupid shit that they're doing. And it's very obvious and it's very in your face. And it's very like, if we're in a sailboat, the wind is stopped completely and my sails are all cut. And I'm just hoping and praying that some wind picks up and those sails get sown and freaking woof, some boost of energy, boost of morale happens in 2024. And that we all
What
just
I think needs to happen is the people need to band together and grab oars and just row that fucking boat and say, fuck the political sails. We're just going to take over from now on.
Yeah.
We could do it all together, you know?
Yeah. I'm stuck in retard land though, unfortunately. Like it's where they implement all the retarded stuff. So my sailboat just always get ripped up.
You're stuck in California.
California, baby. But it's beautiful out here, I'll tell you that. It's a beautiful
Oh yeah, no,
thing.
I'm glad I grew up in California at the time that I did.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I had when I was in high school, our governor was Arnold Schwarzenegger, so at least we had a
governor that could kick your governor's ass.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we had that for us.
Arnold was the man until he said, "Fuck your freedom."
The fourth largest economy in the world.
It still is.
You know,
it still is.
It still is. Yeah. But
the work out here is like, that's one of the reasons I got like 5 years left out here, and I'm actually happy about it. I'm like, I got 5 years. There's a lot of work. I can pay off my house in Kansas and then move when I'm 40 and literally become a shop teacher, kick back, help kids, become an assistant football coach. Like, I'm excited for that chapter when it comes, but I'm also grateful for the work that is here and the opportunity that is here. I'm going to take advantage of it. But K-Swag, I'll let you go, dude. I asked you to hop on for an hour. You did. Jeremy, I know you were coming on, my brother. Lane, like I said, he was busy with some
Lane.
I guess they're gonna pay attention to Steven Crowder because they're doing some deep dives right now on something. I can't even talk about it, but that'll be up at some point. And then and then Monty, nobody really cares. No, I just kidding. But K-Swag, thanks for coming on. Everybody listening, go to Rumble, go to YouTube. Don't get the booster, and just give me a 5-star rating, and I'm gonna try to spit these out every Friday. And if my guest doesn't show up, K-Swag, you're my dude. I appreciate you big time for doing that.
No problem,
my dog. I'm gonna try to stop this thing instead of just end it. Like last time I did this, I was like, okay, peace, and it just ended it all for you guys, and I felt bad.
Yeah.
But
mine still says recording.
No, don't worry. I see the stop recording button. But all right, everybody, love you. Peace.
Boy, they what's the matter about it, big
Okay, sir, but Merton, Aloysius will have to just sign X's. Only 4 of us can write.